All right, question number 15, x to the third y to the negative 7 divided by x to the negative fourth y to the 0 power. So when you're dividing same base, you need to subtract the exponents. So I've got the x, and that's in the highlighter. Let me take that out. So we've got an x, and then we subtract the exponents. 3 minus negative 4 is 7. And then you have this y to the 0 power. Remember that anything to the 0 power is 1, so you can just cross it out. If it's 1, we just act like it's not even there. And that gives me y to the negative 7th. And again, you can't have negative exponents. So it's up in the attic. To make it happy, it needs to drop down to the bottom. So our final answer is x to the 7th over y to the 7th. Number 16, again, I have a parentheses and an exponent. When I see that, I have to multiply. Every item inside the parentheses has an exponent. The 3 has an exponent of 1. The x has an exponent of 1, and then the y is at a negative 2 exponent. So I'm going to keep my same base of 3. I'll multiply exponents. 1 times 3 is 3. Keep my base of x. 1 times 3 is 3. Then in the denominator I have y. Negative 2 times 3 is negative 6. Alright, so the 3 to the third, that's totally happy where it's at. 3 to the third is 27. The x to the third power is totally fine where it's at. This y to the negative 6 is not. It's down in the basement, it's cold, it's dark, and it wants to be happy, so you have to move it up. So it becomes y to the 6th, and then you've got your final answer. Number 17 is like 16. We're going to just multiply the exponents, so the x stays, and then 2 times negative 3 is negative 6. For your denominator, you have a y, and I believe that's a negative 3. Negative 3 times negative 3 is a positive 9. And you'll notice that the x is up in the attic. It's not happy. It needs to be brought down. So when you move it down, you'll never have a 0 on the top. You just put a 1 in the numerator of the fraction. The x to the 6th will drop down, and the y to the 9th, it's positive already. It's happy where it's at, so it'll stay. And you'll end up with 1 over x to the 6th, y to the 9th. Number 18, you have two fractions. You're going to multiply them together. So we're going to just multiply the numerators, and then we'll multiply the denominators. So I'm going to go 3 times 2 to give me 6. I'm going to go x squared times x. Remember, when you multiply same base, add the exponents. That's a 2. This is a 1. That gives me x to the third. And then I'll take the y's. Negative 3 plus negative 4 is negative 7. So that's what I get when I multiply the numerators. Then we'll multiply the denominators. We have x to the fourth. And then y to the first times y to the negative 5. We're going to add 1 plus negative 5 is negative 4. And then I look at this problem. Now I'm just dividing. So what happens when you divide the same base? Well, you subtract the exponent. So let's see what we get here. It's a 6 over a 1. Well, 6 divided by 1 is 6. Alright, so we still have the 6 in the numerator. And then on the x's, we subtract the exponents. 3 minus 4 is a negative 1. And then for the y's, we were going to subtract the exponents. Negative 7 minus a negative 4 is a negative 3. So this is what we have. You notice the negative exponents on the x and y, they're not happy. They're up in the attic. You have to bring them down to the basement here. So that gives me a 6 over x, y to the third. When you drop those variables down, the exponents become positive. Once all exponents are positive, then you are done. So that's our final answer.